let's talk about the aging athlete and longevity in general,
Sure.
because you truly have dedicated your life to using science to debunk these myths that we all grow up with.
Yeah.
And lifting heavy shit, no matter how old you are. And I remember when you talked about the master athlete or the aging athlete.
Mm-hmm.
I know emotionally, mentally, because they were my patients, and they just wanted to stay in the game, and they were clawing. I'm not going to be told I can't do this. And when I saw you with this, the concept of creating protocols and creating, ways to treat them, ways to look at them differently, the whole person again, I thought that was groundbreaking, maybe before anyone else did. The concept of the master aging athlete. And then you started applying that to almost everyone, which I also love.
I think the way that I treat people as a whole person comes from two places. Number one, from the fact I was a cancer nurse and at a very young age I truly understood that sickness is a whole person thing. It's a whole network. It affects the whole family. So from that, but honestly, when I treat an everyday athlete or somebody who's not even an athlete as a whole person, Marty, that's the way we treat our pro athletes. I am an elite sports doctor. I treat college and pro athletes. When I design a program of sports medicine, whether it was at Pitt or it was in Georgia, it is a team of consultants. There is a leader,
sure,
but there is a team of consultants. And for instance, when my last job at University of Pittsburgh was the medical director that built the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex, which housed the Penguins. Yeah. It housed our medical practice. It housed everything, right? Anybody should go see it if they're in Pittsburgh.
I mean, that was an absolute diamond.
It is a diamond. It still is. But those pro athletes, the Penguins, everything about their lives is taken care of. There's a full-time chef. There's a full-time manager who just happens to be my son, who arranges everything about all parts of their life. You would never tell a pro athlete, oh, go find yourself a therapist. I would say, you must go see Marty at 10 o'clock. That kind of whole person 360, connect the dots. We care about your family. I mean, I prescribe for the players' wives. We care about their families. We care about what they eat. We care about their mental well-being. We care about whether they're sleeping enough. One day, I'm in my office and my secretary tells me, Dr. Wright, a bed just arrived. What do you want me to do with it? I'm like, I didn't order a bed. But come to find out,
an actual bed.
It maintained a cold temperature with some kind of special sleep bed because it was the beginning of caring about recovery for athletes. And so when I say to you, in the elite and pro levels, we care about everything. Then why can't mere mortal athletes or everyday people enjoy the same kind of 360 care? It's the only way I know how to care for people.
And you've given those tools to empower someone, even sometimes just, where to go, where to start.
Mm-hmm.
You always talk about being realistic. If you didn't work out 3 times a week last week, right? You're not going to do it this week. But if you did once, that's 100% better than last week, right? You do once for a couple of weeks and maybe you might like it, and maybe do twice, right? It's all about being realistic. And the science of longevity, the science of active aging, we talk about if you're not moving, you're dying, right?
True. Yeah, true.
And let's talk a little bit about that, about the concept of aging actively and what we can do to fight back Father Time with basic day-to-day changes.
Marty, it's not rocket science. I think in the new era of biohacking,
yeah,
or even the longevity world, both of these worlds I'm deep into, I think people are led to believe that it has to be complicated, or you need a red light sauna, or you're never going to age well, or you need to immerse yourself in freezing. All these additive things, those that have science, I mean, they are additive, right?
Sure.
But what I find is that when people enter the precision longevity program and they want to skip ahead all the way to the weird longevity, unproven rat study things like rapamycin and BPC 157. Now I'm going to get a lot of hate mail because people love those things. Fine, we can do those things.
That's right.
But I insist that we start in taking your health, which is fine, and to optimal. Can we please optimize your health? Get all your labs going. Start you on an aerobic program based on your own heart rate. Can we measure your VO2 max to see if you're ever going to cross the fragility line where you can't get up from a chair? Can we optimize your health? Okay, if we do that, then can we please help you even understand what an anti-inflammatory nutrition is and what enough protein means? Can we help you not have 3 different food services delivering boxes of food to your house because no one in your house is going to eat the same thing, right? Can we? I mean, these are real stories. Can we optimize you? And then once
Problems.
they're real problems.
Yeah.
And then once optimized, okay, then I am going to treat you like the pro athletes that I care for in my entire career, and we're going to squeeze performance out of you. I mean, you brought me someone who wanted to squeeze performance out of his life because he had a huge goal. He had a big birthday coming up. He had a huge goal. It wasn't that he was not in shape. He was one of the people that was already optimized, and he just wanted to squeeze performance. So after we optimize, we squeeze performance, and only then, Marty, in my program, do we go to the really esoteric longevity things that may or may not have any research associated, that are evidence-informed, not evidence-based. Because it's okay to me that we get to that place, but not if our health is just fine.
You know, the Precision Longevity Program, I just think is just groundbreaking. You, with the lab, just at the foundational, when you look at someone's labs, you get the opportunity to connect the dots for them. Because whether it's cholesterol, inflammatory biomarkers, you know, NAD, we'll talk about that in a bit, and then you connect it to their daily life. Well, this is why you have elevated inflammatory biomarker. This is why your cholesterol. This is why after we test your VO2 or now you know.
You know what I think is so interesting about that and what you're saying is that our bodies are talking to us all the time. Our bodies are total loudmouths. They want you to know. They give you evidence through your blood values or how you're feeling that day or how swollen or puffy you're feeling. They give you clues. Your body gives you clues about its internal working. The problem is most of us are completely deaf, or if we hear it, we're not listening, right? We drowned it out. So part of what we do is just help people listen to their bodies.
You know, it's funny. They'll complain about being puffy or feeling swollen, but when they actually feel good, they don't then stop and think, what did I do yesterday? Did I sleep more? Did I drink more water?
But you know what? That's why we can't get 70% of people in the country to invest every day in their mobility, because they feel fine and they can't envision what it's going to be like when they're 70. So one of my big, I don't even know what to call it. What I tried to do is help people do exactly what you say, recognize that they feel great today and they want to feel great again tomorrow. So what did they do today?
Yeah.
You know, I feel great. I don't feel great at the time. I'll be totally transparent. I hate working out. And I only love working out when I'm done. But then I feel like such a badass and strong, and I get the reward of whatever that reward, or for me, a reward is marking it off my calendar. I'm a very visual person.
Sure.
But it's the helping people recognize how amazing they feel today so that they want to feel that way tomorrow. That is true. Well, that's what leads to discipline in doing it, because motivation is passive, but discipline is what keeps us on track.